Good evening, everyone. I hope that everyone had a meaningful Memorial Day weekend and an Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for Sushi and Saki, and welcome back to those of you who joined us last week for Dumplings and Drinks. I'm Ed Tephorn, Executive Director of the Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart and from my stomach to all of you for your generous and continued support of the foundation and for this national historic landmark that I know holds such a special place in so many of our hearts. We have another delicious, exciting, and fun program for you tonight. You'll have a front row seat to watch Omakase's executive chef, Jackson Yu, demonstrate how he makes his Michelin award-winning sushi masterpieces. Afterwards, he'll join us at our virtual table to share more about his personal immigration story. And you'll have a chance to ask him a few questions. We'll also hear from the co-founder of Den Saki Brewery. As a food enthusiast and a Top Chef fan, I'm excited to share that we've got a special surprise guest who will be stopping by to say a quick hello later in the program. And you'll also hear from last year's Spirit of Angel Island honoree, Casey Dexter Lee with Angel Island State Park. She's going to show us part of the new Opening Doors exhibit in the new Angel Island Immigration Museum. And just like last week, please take a moment to use the chat box now to say hello to one another and throughout the program. Also, please feel free to use that chat box to ask questions of our guests tonight. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Foundation's board president, Buck G. Good evening, Buck. Thank you so much for your decade of tireless leadership of the Foundation. And thank you very much to you and Mary for joining us tonight as sponsors at the Immigrant Dreams level.
Thanks, Ed. I'd like to welcome everybody to this year's Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation event. I wish it didn't have to be this way. Last year and this year, we had these virtual events, and I missed live events. It's always great to see everybody. It's always great to shake their hands and thank them personally. But this will have to do this year. So thank you for supporting us. I'd like to thank especially the major donors, major sponsors, Keiko Yamasaki and Jerry Yang, Southwest Airlines, as well as the Hero Voices sponsors, Doug and Kathy Ko-Chin, along with Rosemary and Tehi Nam. Heritage sponsors, Milton Chen and Ruth Cox, W.K. Kellogg Foundation, Claudine Cheng, Henry and Priscilla Durr, the Look Low Family Foundation, Catherine Toy and Tony Tam, and Sunny and Jennifer Lula. Legacy sponsors, Darlene Chu Bryant, Win Chang, Dr. Gary and Nobuko Sato Clary, Natalie Huen, Basie Lee, Jonathan and Willa Leong, Richard Louis, Rear Admiral Pamela Schweitzer and Mr. Paul Schweitzer, Ed Tephorn and Dean Leary, Maria Liu and Po Kang Wang, and Connie Young Yu. But here we are. We can't do this live yet, enjoy the food, enjoy the drinks, and let the show begin.
Thanks so much, Buck. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our MC for the evening. She is a member of the Foundation's Executive Committee and one of our co-chairs for tonight's event. Please welcome Darlene Chu Bryant. Good evening, Darlene.
Hi, Ed. It's great to be here tonight. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I am so excited, to have sushi tonight from Omakase.
Me too. Question for you, Darlene. When was the last time that you had sushi?
Oh my God, I really don't remember. Definitely before the pandemic, and I can't wait to really dig into my meal box later. What about you?
For me, I'm pretty lucky. I had a chance to do a taste testing at Omakase last week. And you know what, Darlene? As soon as I put that first piece of nigiri in my mouth, I felt like I was transported back to Tsukiji Market in Tokyo. It was so good. So you are all in for such a delicious treat tonight. Please enjoy the program, and I'll check in on everyone later.
Thanks, Ed. And a big welcome to all of you. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I've served on the board of Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation for the past 6 years. And while this past year with COVID has been tough, it has also been a very exciting one, especially for the organization. We are finally about to open the new Angel Island Immigration Museum, also known as AIM. Even while the buildings on Angel Island have been closed, our staff have been busy with a number of virtual programs and efforts to raise the visibility of Angel Island in the media and online. To start things off, Executive Chef Jackson Yu of Omakase is going to give us a few pointers on the proper way to eat sushi, as well as walk us through how he prepared tonight's bento box. Chef Jackson.
Hi, hello everybody. I'm Chef Jackson from Omakase Restaurant, and thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna show you guys how to prep one of our sushi box today. So, beginning, we're gonna make one toromaki. We have a Japanese premium nori. One of our very famous roll is toro with akami. Two different types of fish inside. This is bamboo, so makisu and nori on the bamboo. We have our premium sushi rice here. Place the fish evenly on the sushi rice. And just hold it, close up. And then just like that, one maki is done. Super easy, right? Now we're gonna make nigiri. When you do nigiri, you need a little finger water ball here. Make sure you have a water on your hand so the rice doesn't stick on your hand. We're gonna start cutting the fish. This is Japanese king mackerel. Come with the skin. And this one is umimasu, sea trout from Iceland. The toro. Akami. It's a red meat of the bluefin tuna. Kampachi. Madai. Medai. This is a Shimaaji. Shimaaji is yellow striped jack. Scallop. The way we cut in scallop, normally you see people cutting this way, but I'm doing this way. Just make sure it don't break it. This is better texture this way. Tamago. Dashi tamago. This is a fish broth and a tomato and egg. Short one piece. This is Wagyu beef. This is A5 Wagyu beef. We use the bamboo wooden. This is, I think, is material is wood. Yeah, wood box. Why we use wood box? Because this one can take out the actual moisture from the fish and rice. Bamboo leaf. The way making sushi, hold the fish, rice, 1, 2, 3, and then you flip it. This one piece. One, two, three, flip, 4, 5. Normally like this. This fish come with the skin. We have to kind of sear it. And also the beef too. We use the blowtorch. Light sear this piece. Don't go too close. So after that, just dip. Here we go. I suggest eat with your hand and then just put the soy sauce on the fish part, not on the rice part. Because if you dip the rice in the soy sauce, the rice will make broke. So take like this, hold, and then inside the soy sauce like this, and then eat like this. You don't dip the rice inside the soy sauce, it may break. So soy sauce and eat like this. And 1 bite for 1 piece sushi. Don't try to break 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 5 pieces. It's not gonna taste good. So 1 bite everything and then dip the soy sauce on the top of the fish, not on the rice. And then for the roll, also just a little bit, not too much soy sauce like both sides. It's going to be too salty. Just a little bit and eat everything. For tamago, you don't need to do anything. Just eat like a dessert. Thank you so much.
I was muted. I apologize. And welcome, Chef Jackson. Thank you so much for that wonderful demonstration and for showing us your next skills. And I really appreciate your making time to join us tonight. Thank you, Chef Jackson.
No problem.
Yeah, so I'm going to start by sharing a little bit about Chef Jackson. Born and raised in Beijing, Executive Chef Jackson Yu has been preparing traditional sushi for nearly 20 years. After moving to the Bay Area at the age of 18, he took time to hone his technical skills and cultivate his knowledge of traditional cuisine at some of San Francisco's most highly respected Japanese restaurants. He opened Omakase in 2015 after less than a year in operation. Omakase received a Michelin star and a top 100 ranking by the San Francisco Chronicle's former restaurant critic Michael Bauer, which is a big deal. I am so proud that a Japanese sushi chef of Chinese descent received a Michelin star. So, Chef, thank you so much for joining us tonight and to share your immigrant story. First of all, can you tell us about what made you and your family decide to immigrate from Beijing?
Oh, this one's long story though. My mom came within like 1980s, and then she got lucky within the Chinese government was doing the killing student on the Tiananmen Square.
Oh wow!
And then my mom was here that year, so she got a green card from the thing, and she stays there, and then starting apply us to come. So luckily, after 7 years, I can get my chance to come to United States.
That's great.
By that time, I was 16 years old.
Wow. Okay, so you came when you're 16. That's great. So who else with your family immigrated with you, and who did you leave behind in China?
No, just me and my dad, and we both came same time.
Oh, that's great. And so
yeah, my whole family become together. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And then, so what was the most difficult part about leaving Beijing at the time for you?
Most difficult part, I guess, is the language, and I totally cannot speak no English and no Cantonese by then. So we really had a hard time to communicate with any people here. Most Chinese people here speak Cantonese, and I speak Mandarin only. So I use 1 year to learn Cantonese. After that, I'm starting learning other language. So I think that's the most part. I cannot even find a job.
Oh.
So staying in school is like totally like wasting my time because I don't even understand. They put me in the high school right away. So it's really hard.
So it's really tough, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So aside from being tough, I'm sorry?
Language
Yes.
is the most difficult. Yeah.
It's the most difficult thing. So so what did you miss most about Beijing then? About what did you leave behind that you missed the most?
I miss all my friends, childhood friends, my relative, my aunties. Other than that, nothing really big. I have my whole family here. Once a year, I go back to Beijing and just visit them.
Oh, nice.
I try to go back once a year. Yeah.
You try to go back. That's great. So when you first came to America in San Francisco, you were only 16. Were you excited? What made you excited about coming to the US?
At first, I don't really like to come because my life is all in Beijing. I'm like, wow, why you move me to the the new country, or I don't even know. And but after I came here, I'm like, wow, it's much better than Beijing. Is much more chance to start my new life. Beijing is nice, but so many people there, so many people. Job opportunity is not as much as here. Then luckily I work in the restaurant business and start learning sushi, which is one of my dream job since I was very young.
Really?
I really like to cook. even though when I was in elementary school.
Interesting. That's
I
cool.
really love to cook. I cook Chinese food. I cook whatever the seafood, everything. I like to cook. I like to enjoy the people eating my food. Yeah.
That's good. So what about when you first came here? Do you remember how you were treated because you could not speak the language?
Kind of. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was looking for a job in Chinatown or Clement Street, San Francisco. I got fired many times because I don't speak the same language. Kind of discriminate by the maybe people speak Cantonese. But it's not their fault. But Chinese restaurant, you need to understand each other at least. But for me, it's hard to understand. So I don't say anything is their fault or my fault. It's because I have to learn. I have to improve my Cantonese. But after a year, I can start understand. And after I say 1 or 2 years, I can speak fully Cantonese. Now I can speak fully Cantonese now.
Yes,
so,
you definitely need to learn fast. So what advice do you have then for immigrants coming to the U.S. now? What kind of advice do you offer before they come?
Advice. Come here is not easy that you think if you work hard, chance is always there. Just do the thing you like, find your passion, and keep working hard. And then one day you have your opportunity to open your own business and be good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if anybody could be a Michelin.
Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy. Just work. Yeah. Work and enjoy. Yeah.
That's great. And then so what do you, I mean, you've already been a very successful chef. You have a Michelin star, obviously, and then you started a restaurant group, but what other wish do you have for the future, for your future?
I mean, I'm really lucky. I have a really good team, supporting me, and I become from nothing to have something. not super success, but yeah, way better than before. So my wish is I have more time, be with my family, and take care of my mom, my dad, and don't have to work 5-6 days a week. Maybe in the future I have just work maybe less, have more time, enjoy my family time. But of course, still have to take care of my business. But yeah, this
That's great. Living the American dream.
Yeah. Still work, but a little bit more time for the family.
Yeah. So more work-life balance, I guess, right? Yes.
Balance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, balance.
Totally hear that. Yeah. So anyways, like now, maybe we could open it up to the audience and see if there are any questions for the audience. Treat this like you're at a chef's table. You can type your questions in the chat and we'll try to get it through to Chef Jackson. So there's one question. There's one question, and that is, why is ginger always served with sushi?
Ginger is for cleaning your palate. So you eat every piece of sushi, it's different flavor. Eat ginger in between, so kind of like drinking green tea. If you don't like to eat ginger, you can drink green tea, or you can drink water to clean your palate.
That's great.
And you can go to the next piece. So each one, you don't mix the flavor.
That's good. And then so question is, you have omakase and you have okane, but then at omakase, what is, and I'm sure you have a different menu. And so what is your favorite item to make at omakase?
Sushi. Sushi is my favorite item to make.
And
I like to cook. I like to do a lot of kitchen stuff, but my main thing is making sushi and show people how to do the nigiri, and that's my favorite. To make a perfect piece nigiri, cutting the fish, making the sushi, that's my favorite thing to do at omakase. Yeah, at
omakase.
Yeah.
And then, so why did you pick sushi, and why become a sushi chef? And why was sushi making so interesting to you from a young age?
Oh, luckily I was working at a sushi restaurant. I was a server, and then
Oh.
one chef, he cut his finger really bad, and he cannot work anymore. And then there's a spot, and then the owner asked me to if you want to learn. Of course, I say yeah. Of course, I fit in and learn, and then they give me the chance. And then the chef gave me his knife, and then from that day to now, it's like nonstop.
Wow.
It's just like happening, just like God happening. It make me to that spot, and I just keep working. That
So
was
it's
when I was 18, I think 18, 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, and then so people want to know, where is your source of fish? Because clearly the fish that we're having tonight is very fresh. Will you share
It's
that?
all from Japan. It's all from Japan.
All from Japan.
Yeah, it's all from Japan. Yeah, fly from Japan overnight.
Wow. Cool. And then to cut because I was, I was watching your knife skills, and everything is just one cut, one cut. How often do you have to sharpen your sushi knife?
If your sushi knife, if your steel is blue steel, like my knife is really different type of steel, right? You don't have to sharpen very often because it's super hard. And my knife only cut fish. It doesn't do any other job. I have my veggie knife. I have my fish knife. Every knife just do cut veggie or cut fish. So maybe sharpen my knife once a week, but you have to clean your knife every day. Clean means like polishing, but not sharpening. Yeah.
Interesting.
Taking care of your knife is very important. Yeah.
So I
If
know
you
you
sharpen
like.
knife too often, life is short. Your knife is going to be gone. Yeah.
So it's better to keep it clean so that it will stay sharp, and you don't have to sharpen it
Always
out.
keep clean your station, your knife, your table, your cutting board, everything keep clean, but your knife don't sharpen very often. It will kill the knife life. Yeah.
Interesting. And so someone has asked, have you seen San Francisco change? I mean, you've been here since you were 16. Have you seen San Francisco change over the years since you've been here?
Oh yeah, big change, especially near Soma, Perchul Hill area, which is near my restaurant area. Big change. Like before was super ghetto, like warehouse or homeless people around here. Now it's really nice. Tech company moving in, and residential is, building new buildings. Yeah, it's really nice. But downtown area is getting worse and worse. Downtown San Francisco is getting worse and worse. So which is like, near Union Square.
Yes.
Yeah, those areas. When I came here, it was really nice. I like to go there shopping, but these days I don't want to go there. I feel like not safe. But Soma is nice. Yeah, near 3rd Street here, near the new Giants or Chase Center. It's really nice here.
Yeah, and talk about Chase Center. I think your restaurant group has also an outlet there that you're opening, right?
Yes. We are actually right here in the dim sum place. Yes, it's called Dumpling Time. Chase. Yeah.
At Chase Center. That's great.
Yeah.
So if anybody comes to see the Warriors.
Yeah, when you go to the Warriors game, we are just in the front entry left side. You cannot miss it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then I think we have one more question. And so I think I see one question come in, and someone's asking, what would you suggest for those who want to become a sushi chef?
Want to become a sushi chef? I suggest first you need to like to do it, not because I just want to be a chef. You need to have passion to cook. You need to spend a lot of time in the kitchen to learn how to do the basic, and then you need to find a good restaurant to work many years, and then you can. This takes time. It's not like 1 month, 2 months, you can become a sushi chef. You're gonna start a kitchen, start a line cook probably, do the setup, do the prepping, and then touching fish is already after, I say, if quick, after a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it definitely is a long process. Well,
Long process, yeah.
well,
No shortcut, no shortcut.
there's definitely no shortcut.
It's not a sushi chef. It's just a roll maker or yeah, shortcut. You don't learn from the basic. You cannot call yourself a chef or whatever. You need to learn how to understand how to cook rice, how to do the kitchen, how to do the sauce, and then you move little by little. Not like Japan. Japan takes like 10 years. Here, probably 1 year, 2 year, probably.
Wow.
Yeah, but not too fast. You gotta,
fast.
yeah, from the foundation, build the foundation good, and then move to the sushi bar, start cutting fish, make sushi. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Chef Jackson. We learned a lot from you. You are definitely the epitome of a successful immigrant. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best, and may all your dreams come true, and continue success with your restaurant business. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your sushi.
Yes, we will come and see you. Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Bye. And wasn't that awesome? And if you haven't started digging into your sushi bento, I suggest you can start now. But next, let me introduce my fellow board member and one of my co-chairs for tonight's event, Win Chang. She immigrated from China to Hong Kong and then to Miami. Win is currently the Western Regional Public Sector State and Local Solutions Engineering Director at Oracle, where she founded Oracle's Professional Asian Leadership Resource Group. Win, so good to see you today. You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much. It's just been such an amazing evening already. I feel like those chefs were like sitting right in front of me, showing me how and teaching me how to make those sushi. So I was very impressed. Isn't this fun?
Yes, it is. It is. It is.
Anyway, so it's really my pleasure now to introduce all of you to Yoshihiro Sato. He is the co-founder of Den Saki Brewery. Can you tell us about the batch number 13 sake that we're drinking tonight, Yoshi?
Yes. So batch 13 is, yes, obviously it's the 13th batch since we opened. Our sake is usually has a higher acidity than the typical sake to pair well with the food here. I think, a lot of people also here are very familiar to the drinking wine. So wine has a much higher acidity. So I kind of like trying to go into more like a wine drinkers world. So that's why I decided to raise the acidity. So batch 13 has a higher acidity and has like a tropical notes like a melon or a little like a pineapple, banana. Those tropical notes is very it's kind of signature style, and it pair well with a lot of different cuisine, not only Japanese food, not only sushi, but also a lot of different food too.
Well, I can't wait to crack open my bottle and start drinking that. So my next question is, for those who are watching, what advice can you offer about the best way to enjoy their sake?
Best way enjoy my sake or just sake?
Yeah, your sake, your
my
delicious sake.
My sake, temperature wise, just slightly chilled is great. Not too cold and not warm. Actually, warm is good too, but slightly chilled to warm is good. And glassware, you can use any kind of glassware, but I normally recommend maybe white wine glass, a little smaller wine glass that you can capture more aroma or bouquet. Yeah.
Fantastic. I would love to hear your story behind why you decided to open your Den Saki brewery. Can you share with us, with our audience today?
Yes. So I came to United States about like year 2000. And so about 21 years ago, and I was mainly just playing music. I was a musician. I was playing bass in several bands, and the touring in United States, and recording CDs, and I got the job of just managing one sake and wine shop in San Francisco. So I took the job, and since then I kind of started to get into more like a sake. I started studying about wine first, and but for some reason, just a lot of people ask me about sake more than wine because I'm Japanese. They just trust me whatever I say. Then I started getting into it. Then I started teaching sake class. Then I was like, yeah, okay. How can I gain my knowledge more? Then okay, let's go just work at the sake brewery. So I went to Japan and I worked in the sake brewery in my hometown. And I came back. I kept teaching sake class, and I was like, okay, let's start making sake. And we started actually doing a test batch. And I kind of like I at the same time I kind of like I was getting away from my musician career. So I kind of missed that career, more creativity and the more introverted kind of part. So I kind of like, okay, I think making sake is more, I think I can combine those, creativity and also the passion for the sake. So that's how, I decided to start the sake brewery.
Wow, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I'm curious also about when you immigrated to the United States, what was that experience like for you? How old were you when you decided to come over?
So I came here. Like about 21 years ago, and well, my experience is I think the most of the Japanese people, we grew up with a lot of culture from here, the music and the movies and everything. So we feel like we can definitely like adjust to the culture easily, but it's not. It's everything is opposite. Coming from Japan, um, probably the biggest part is like in Japan it's more to be the same as others or not to stick out from others. I think that's more like a beauty, and don't show your what you're thinking to the people. It's more preserved and more humbleness. That's the kind of beauty of it in Japan. But here you have to speak up. What are you thinking? If you are quiet, people are like, hey, what are you thinking, Yoshi? Hey, speak up. Right. So that's the biggest, I think, difference. And I was not used to it. I was not used to, showing my expression, showing my feelings. So that was probably the hardest part for me.
You know what? I totally agree. And I know that even myself immigrating here when I was only 3, our parents were kind of teaching us, be quiet, keep your head down, and just get your work done. Mm-hmm. So I totally can relate to all those things that you're sharing about. I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about what some of your challenges were coming to America. Anything that you want to share?
Challenges. Probably like like I said, I think it's just how you present yourself. I think that's the you have to know yourself. And I think before I came to United States, I was not interested in my own traditional culture much. And I came here 20 years ago. Then I started to realize, okay, where I'm from, who I am. I started to think about it. So those kind of stuff, if you know already, who you are and, what makes you passionate about, then probably it might help to just adjust quicker, I think.
I completely agree with you. I know that for myself, it's that sometimes you almost feel like you want to be immersed into this American society that you forget your roots and who you are. And it's not until a bit later that you reflect on who you are and that you truly appreciate, your own personal, where you came from. So thank you for sharing that. I'd love for you to offer some advice, for immigrants coming to America and for those that are living here? What advice would you have?
Those who are living here, well, I think work hard and also, I think making effort. I think that changes the world, your surroundings, I think. And I think I started brewing, and I now know more about it because the yeast. We use yeast, right? I think beer brewer and the winemaker, they also all use yeast. And interesting enough, in order to make kind of like aromatic, more beautiful, elegant style of sake, the yeast need to struggle. And when yeast struggle, they start release some kind of ester that becomes a beautiful aroma. And those struggle attracts people for some reason. People love those kind of elegance, and people feel it. So it's the same thing for the human being and all the creature. If you make effort, if you struggle, that people can feel it. I think that's it.
I completely agree with you. For some reason, it seems like when things are too easy, you don't appreciate it as much. But when you have to, whether there's a little danger, crisis, all of a sudden you appreciate it. It's almost like when you're eating, and that last bite tends to be sweeter than the first couple of bites.
Exactly.
It's like when it's just about to run out, that last bite tastes more delicious.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd love for you to tell us about the origins of why you started Den Saki Brewery.
So I think it sounds like I'm probably repeating the answer that I did, but I think why I started, I think I wanted to introduce my own culture, and that means I wanted to introduce better about myself through the sake brewery, which is tradition in Japan. So I think a lot of people, I know there are so many people love sake, but not so many people knows what's in it, what kind of process is in it. So I really want to make a really good sake, and people, that makes people want to drink. But also I want to show what I'm doing at my brewery, so that the people understand what's in one bottle, what kind of effort is in the bottle. I mean, people taste things not only with your tongue, they taste it with their brain too. So they need to know first to fully enjoy sake. Not only sake, all the products, I think.
Go ahead. Anyway, I think that's fantastic. I'd love for you to share a little bit more about, the rice that you use or the water that you use that really makes your wine, your sake, so unique.
So rice we use is it's grown by a farmer in Sacramento called Rue and the Forceman Ranch. So that rice is varietal. It's called the Karuhikari rice. That's a short grain rice, and it's not normally it's not for making sake. It's for eating rice. So sake rice and the eating rice are different. So a lot of sake breweries, they use the sake rice, but I decided to use non-sake rice. And also, our philosophy is we use rice from a single farm. So it's a single origin, so that people know when the rice is harvested, how rice is, grown. I just want a transparency. So that's the rice that we use. And water is we use straight from the tap water, the Auckland tap water, no filtration, nothing, just straight tap water, and it's super soft water.
Fantastic. My very last question is, where can people buy your delicious sake?
Yes, so in San Francisco, there's one shop, the sake specialized shop. It's called True Sake on the Hayes Street. I think it's Hayes and Octavia. So that place is all the stuff over there, so knowledgeable. So, not only to buy my sake, you can just, go there and ask, what kind of sake, what kind of food are you eating tonight, and they will probably recommend the best sake to you. And in Oakland area, there is a shop called Umami Mart. It's on Broadway in Oakland, and they have also wide selection of sake, and they are biggest supporter of our sake too. So.
My goodness. Thank you so much, Yoshi,
so much,
for sharing your story and sharing your delicious sake with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Wing.
My pleasure. All right. I'm going to take it back to Darlene.
And thank you so much, Win. And it was great to see Yoshi-san. I'm definitely enjoying the sake now from Den Sake Brewery. And it's a great pairing for tonight's sushi, don't you think?
I think so too. I'm really ready to crack open my bottle and enjoy my sushi too.
Yes, and I hope, yeah, thanks. And I hope all of you at home are watching us, are enjoying the sake as well. And now we have a special surprise for everyone. My good friend and chef in residence at Global SF, Ms. Tanya Holland of Brown Sugar Kitchen, who has been a longtime ally of our communities, wanted to stop by and say hello.
Hello, everyone. It's Tanya Holland from Brown Sugar Kitchen in Oakland. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight for Sushi and Sake fundraiser for the Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation. Since I opened Brown Sugar Kitchen, there's nothing I've wanted to do more than bring together cultures, people from different backgrounds. We have this sign hanging up in our window. When someone brought it to me, I didn't even think twice about posting it. And I'm here to support. I'm enjoying a glass of the Den Blanc right now, sake. Can't wait to taste the sushi. Thank you all for your support. Wish we were all together, and I look forward to us being together soon.
It's always good to see Chef Tanya. I remember when she traveled with us actually to Singapore and Hong Kong in 2019. And we can't end this evening without a chance to peek inside the new Angel Island Immigration Museum. Let's see what Casey Dexter Lee, who is on Angel Island State Park now, has to share with us about the new Opening Doors exhibit. But before I sign off, I wanted to thank you so much for joining us and for supporting Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation and our work on the history of Angel Island and Pacific Coast immigration. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Casey Dexter Lee, and I'm an interpreter with California State Parks. I would like to thank you for your support of the Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation, our park partner at Angel Island State Park. I'm in the Angel Island Immigration Museum, a new space we hope to open to the public later this year. In the Opening Doors exhibit, we feature stories of refugee resettlement, skilled labor immigration, and other stories of hope about the future for immigration. This space would not be possible without the partnership with the foundation that allowed the restoration of this historic hospital building and the exhibits that you'll see when you get to visit in the future. Thank you again for your support. We really appreciate everything you do to help Angel Island State Park and the Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation.
Casey, thank you so much for that preview and for the long-standing, mutually respectful and trusting partnership between Angel Island State Park and the Foundation. I also want to thank our planning committee led by board members Darlene Chu Bryant, Win Chang, and Paula Williams-Madison for their leadership and hard work on both tonight's event as well as last week's Dinner and Dumplings event. I also want to say a special thank you to Darlene for being such a wonderful MC tonight. Thank you to our friends at Omakase, including Executive Chef Jackson Yu and Catering Manager Anna Lowe, as well as Yoshihiro Sako and Lani Sako of Den Saki Brewery for partnering with us for tonight's event. Most importantly, I want to thank all of our sponsors and all of you tuned in tonight for your support of the Foundation. You have made it possible for us to navigate this past year and to continue our important work of preserving the site and uplifting its histories and stories. And if there are any of you who are watching who haven't yet made a recent contribution to the Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation, we hope that you'll consider joining our circle of supporters. You can do so very easily by using that donate button in the bottom right corner of the screen. Without the contributions of supporters like you, we would not be able to continue to preserve and maintain the buildings on Angel Island, including the new Angel Island Immigration Museum and the site's former hospital building. We also couldn't have developed and launched innovative and exciting digital and online programs so that people across the country and around the world can continue to learn about Angel Island. This includes collaborative programs with the National Park Service, the Office of Minority Health, the White House Initiative on Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, the Winged Museum, the National Arab American Museum, and Ellis Island, just to name a few. You've helped us spread the word about Angel Island when you liked and shared our social media and our stories that have resulted in local, state, and national news coverage on CNN, Time Magazine, Scholastic, Voices in America, Bartell's Backroads on ABC 10, the LA Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, KQED, KTVU, and NBC Bay Area. And you've stood shoulder to shoulder with us as we've continued to fight to preserve ferry service from San Francisco to Angel Island. We're hearing that negotiations are ongoing, but California State Park is really close to an agreement with a new ferry service provider. We're on the verge of a new exciting chapter in Angel Island's history and in the Foundation's history, and we'd love for you to continue to partner with us. One easy way to do that is to help connect us to your friends and colleagues and help us continue to spread that word about Angel Island's history and the Foundation's important work, especially now as we're seeing increasing anti-Asian attacks and efforts to keep our community's histories out of schools. Over the next few months, the Foundation's board and staff are developing a strategic framework to guide the Foundation's efforts over the next 5 years. All of you watching tonight are such an important part of the Foundation's circle of major donors, and I'd love to hear your feedback on how you think we're doing, as well as any recommendations or ideas you might have for us. So please feel free to reach out to me directly at etepporn, that's ETEPPORN, at AIISF.org, and perhaps we can find time to connect by phone or Zoom in the coming weeks. Please stay tuned for our Angel Island Immigration Museum virtual opening ceremony, which we hope will be taking place later this year in August or September. And now to close us out, please welcome back the Foundation's board president, Buck G.
I want to end the evening by thanking everybody for their support for our work here. America now is 25%, over 25% first or second generation immigrant, that is, immigrant and a child. We're actually over 50% first, second, or third generation immigrant. So the old saying that we are a nation of immigrants is actually an understatement. The more correct statement is that we are a nation of recent immigrants. Rob Bonta, for example, our new Attorney General in California, is himself a Filipino immigrant. California's state senator, Alex Padilla, is a son of Mexican immigrants. There are two potential presidential candidates, one a Democrat, Kamala Harris, and the Republican, Nikki Haley, are American-born daughters of Indian immigrants. So you can't ignore the impact of immigration in the United States. It's the role of the Foundation here to be sure that people remember the history of immigration in the United States, that the history of Angel Island, to be sure that the mistakes that were made in the past aren't repeated in the future, and that policies moving forward are more just, more fair, and more humane in treatment of immigrants. And thanks to your work, we can do that. So good evening. Have a wonderful time the rest of the evening. Enjoy the drinks and the food. And thank you so much.